Hi, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about um, something I saw as I was going through YouTube on someone's channel. Well, it was actually on their channel. It was just kind of came up on my thread, and someone posted a video. And in the video, they were talking about how they were born into the elemental realm. So that sounded interesting to me. And I'm not sure what this person meant by it when they said they were born into the elemental realm. But I got kind of a contraction in my body, right? And that's one way, our system, our soul, um, is signaling to us that something is off. And then it's up to us to figure out why it's off, right? So if we're getting a contraction, there's some reason why that's happening. So then we get into, hopefully, why are we having a contraction? So then I started asking my guides, and I asked, can you be born into the elemental realm? And the answer was yes, but then there's also a no. And so there was that yes, no. And when you have a yes, no, that means you have to ask for more clarity, right? But there's something about how you're asking, that if you ask a different question, you could get more. So then the question I had following that was something to the effect of, can your soul come into existence in the elemental realms? And the answer was no. So what does that mean? It means this. All souls come through divinity, right? Through God, through source, however you want to think of it. And when a soul is birthed from source, it embarks on a journey, on a path. And it's actually multiple paths, multiple roads we go down, multiple experiences we have. But because we're one soul, it's one soul's path, it's one soul's journey, right? So we go down a journey, we go down a path. And that journey, that path is to lead us back to wholeness, right? Coming back home, back to source, finding that liberation. So on that journey, on that path, as a soul, we can be born into different realms. We can be born into the elemental realms. We can be born into the angelic realms. We can be born here on earth as an earthling. And so it is yes and no. Can you be born into a realm? Yes. Does your soul come into existence in that realm? No. Because being born into any realm is a part of your path, your journey. It's not deduced to that one experience, right? It's that, and it's I was birthed in this place and this other thing, these other places, right? So each soul dynamic, so dynamic. We have so many experiences we're going through, more than we can perceive. And there's a reason for that, but there's so much we're going through all the time. And since we're here on earth, we'll focus on that, and the experiences that I'll say predominantly have experienced here, and integrating those experiences in our system while we're here to bring us back into that wholeness. Yeah. So what we call that are past lives. Our gifts from those past lives, our karma, our trauma from those past lives, healing and clearing and integrating, reigniting or initiating, right? Bringing energy back into a part of you that's been dormant for a long time, and then integrating, and coming back more into who you are, right? Being more grounded and more powerful and wise, coming back into wholeness. So, yeah, let's pull a card around this subject and see what else wants to be shared. This grief card. So let me see what that's about. Let me do another card first, and then I'll talk about both. And grace. Okay, that's more sense. Makes more sense to me now. Yeah. So for many people, the majority of people, souls that find themselves here on Earth, Earth is one of those places we get to work through karma. It's actually really beautiful. Earth is one of those places we work through karma, so therefore we're going through a deep healing, cleansing process. We have that opportunity to do that here. Deep healing, cleansing, growing. We don't have that opportunity everywhere, but we do here. And so a lot of souls at some point in their life have a difficult time being here with all that we experience on Earth, right? And it's different depending on where you are on Earth, what country you're in or on, what sort of family situation you grew up in, where you find yourself now. It's different for everyone. And what's difficult for people, that's also different for everyone. But for most of us, we go through some period of feeling like life is hard and not always actually wanting to be here or deal with it, right? Not wanting to do that. And we won't get into, talking in this video about how we can change that for ourselves. But the key here is living in grace. I had one teacher tell me once, and this is a quote from someone else, and I'm horrible with names. I'm not going to remember whose mouth this came out of or what book this came out of, but something about yoga, right? So union, and the different ways in which union can exist is living life with grace. And so if you can think about embodying grace, really embodying it, and how that can shift everything around you, right? We go from the inside, we do our internal work to shift our external world, shift our internal world to shift our external world. But embodying grace. Yeah, let's see how this all ties in together. Just give me one moment. Yeah, so coming back to being birthed into a realm in the past lives, and the karma, that's how it's all tying in together. We're on a path, each soul on a journey, and we have different experiences because we've picked them. We've picked every experience we want to have. And how do we go through the process of clearing? How do we work through our karma while we're here and we have the opportunity to? It's not to lean into this, what feels hard. It's not pulling yourself out. It's not participating. It is participating. And it is finding this. Now, this isn't easy, right, Grace? You can't really read it that well. It's finding that bit by bit and living it in grace, with grace. Yeah. And then we can, if we do that, we find that we heal quicker, faster. And then we can move on to the next part of our path, the next part of our journey, potentially be birthed somewhere else or come back here on Earth or elemental realms, another realm. Yeah. So that's the message today around that. And please, if you have any questions, I love questions. Sometimes I've just come up with my own, but if you have questions, ask away.